What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, and we have a new rank 1 in North America with a pretty crazy story. This is Grea. If you have not heard of him before, just hit 1744 LP, so he is 3 higher than T-Lides. And you could say, okay, he's only 3 LP higher than T-Lides, not much to brag about. But then you look at his stats and you go, oh my god, this guy's only got 235 games played versus T-Lides, who has 999. He's got less games played than people like Dish Soap. And I mean, for his games played to be this low with this win rate, that must mean his stats are insane. And look at it, almost a 30% win rate, 69%, very almost 70%. Top 4 rate. This guy is just a monster. And I'm sure a lot of you are saying, who is Grea? I've never heard of this guy in my life. Grea, the first time I was introduced to Grea was through this tweet that Pokigam made. If you guys don't know Pokigam, very, very strong North American player, one of the best players in North America. And he's talking about Grea. He said he's previously gone my Melton Heart. He doesn't necessarily enjoy TFT and as a result doesn't care to compete. But at his peak, I'd say he's a better player than Setsi/Dish. And hey, higher LP than both of them right now. So higher LP than everybody. Mostly just a glazed post, but I find it impressive how easily he can climb at times and he actually puts in effort. I guess he's putting effort right now. I got to where I'm at as a player mostly by discussing with him. So yeah, he's my GOAT, which is a crazy thing for Pocky to say. One of the best players in our region to say, yeah, basically, this player taught me everything that I know. For Pocky to say that is insane. And I wanted to screenshot this as well because I thought it was funny. Does he stream at all? I'd love to learn from him somehow. The dude seems like a beast. Sadly, he doesn't, and I doubt he ever will. But Pocky was wrong on one thing in that tweet, and that's that Grea was never going to stream. Grea is live. He's actually been streaming a decent bit over the past couple of weeks, and he was live on Twitch yesterday. So here is a real Grea VOD. And sorry, that was Grea coughing in the mic. I didn't realize I hadn't muted him. Also, can anyone tell me why Flandre's his like health bar looked like this at the start? I don't even know what that is. But yeah, can somebody please explain? Like, is that some kind of, I don't even know like what that would be. Some kind of like reward for winning a tournament or something? I have no clue. But yeah, Grea seems like based on all of the, statistics and things, an insanely consistent player. He also did very, very well actually last set. Just competitively made it to regionals, I believe. Yeah, he did very, very well competitively last set. I could bring up his little chest, but or not his little chest, but his tactic stat tools, but that'll take too much time. All right, first big decision for Grea this game, and I really want to dissect what he does bit by bit, piece by piece this entire game, because this is someone who is purported to be one of the best players on our server. He's rank 1 North America. He's insanely consistent. So let's break all this down. The first already interesting play here is the Opticel Nunu here. He does potentially have an opener with Nunu here, right? It's really, really interesting that he sells Nunu to buy Zigspare, because the Zigspare would fit well with Nunu, you would think. If anything, I would be interested, I guess, in holding on to Nunu plus Poppy. But I think his idea is that he cares more about this Zoe than he does actually for like Nunu and any of this stuff. He doesn't really want to hold on to, he doesn't want to sell like Zoe Warwick here and hold Zigspare because he values the Zoe opener very highly. Zoe got buffed this patch. Everything about Portal basically got buffed this patch. So I think this is a good call out from Grea, realizing that, early game, you can't just play by units. You kind of have to play it a little bit by, in your opinion, what unit strength is, and what you think the good openers are, because all openers are not created equal. Also, this Cranberry Guys is AFK at the top of Challenger. I mean, you'll love to see it if you're in Great's position. All right, couple minion drops here. He's looking at the Ziggs. Yeah. Okay, so Soraka pair in shop is also really, really interesting. The only thing to think about regarding the Soraka pair, though, is we do have Glove. We have no like kind of AP items to start with. These items really, really, in my opinion, lean towards an AD opener, something like Shapeshifter plus the Namzi here, but we'll see. Looks like he really, really just doesn't value the Honey opener, and he's just going to pick these up for, yeah, and like I talked about this in an earlier video, but I think the stats actually bear this out, right? If you look at like 3-star average placement, which is obviously like a very small indicator, but Ziggs is now one of the worst 3-stars in the game. If you go to augments and you look up like Honeymancy type augments, Honeymancy are the worst augments in the game. So all of these stats kind of lead towards the idea that Honeymancy opener is really, really weak now. And Grea is playing certainly like that's the case. All right, first augment here. Birthday present, at what cost, Tiny's Titan. All certainly takeable options. At what cost has certainly fallen off the further we've gotten to the set and the further and high elo you go. This is a really, really good augment to stomp, masters and below elo. Once you get to challenger, the downside is quite high, and people are playing stronger boards, so you don't even get to bowl over the lobby for free. Birthday Present, in my opinion, is just kind of a mediocre augment. I know Dish Soap won worlds with it, so I can never say that the augment is like bad. But I think the stats, yeah, the stats say it's like a 5 almost. If you go up to GM plus, it gets a bit better. Tiniest Titan, I think, is the best option out of these for sure, though. They buffed this augment to now give 2 HP per round, which is just so much when you start the game, getting 2 gold per round. And yeah, I think Grea is also looking towards this. We do, what I would give to see Grea play a worth the wait game. The prismatic worth the wait statistically is not as good as the gold one. Yeah, you look at any elo, the stats say the gold one is better, which makes sense. Right, you're never getting to a 4-star 2 cost, and so I feel like the pick could be Tiniest Titan. Warrior Crown, I guess, is certainly not something that you can completely, throw away. Warrior 6 Warrior is very, very strong. What do the statistics even say about Warrior Crown? Oh, they say it's very bad. Okay, well, good to know. Statistics say Tiniest Titan here, and okay, so Grea, a good player. That doesn't mean he's gonna, absolutely blow your mind with the augment pick and just, I mean, he's a good player, so that usually means he's going to take the best augment. I really want him to be like, Grea, he's the best player in the world. Every single time he takes an augment, he just takes the worst average placement augment and then just wins the game with it. But, TFT is not always like that. Sometimes good augments are good. He's starting off, though, with the Shapeshifter opener. All of these units on Grea's board, by the way, were buffed. Elise buffed, Jace buffed, and Zoe buffed. So I certainly think that this, in Grea's mind, is probably a very, very strong opener that he wants to play for. And he does opt to make gold here. This is actually, wow. This is a big decision from Grea to make gold here, but I do really like this in this spot here. It's interesting because he didn't, if he had not won this fight, he couldn't have made 10 gold, but he's selling Zoe pair. He's selling infinite pairs here. And I think there's one really good reason why he is doing this. It's because he took Tiniest Titan. He knows that he is going to be weaker than normal. He cannot play for a win streak opener this game. So why even try to set up a win streak opener? He didn't full open, which is kind of interesting as well. He took Tiniest Titan, but he's just playing kind of like, not necessarily strongest board because he's not slamming a single item. He's just playing okayest board, going to kill a few units every round. Certainly not going to win streak versus players like this who have a combat augment, but hey, we'll take good losses here, get a bunch of gold. So my first, because this is the first VOD I've ever actually watched of Grea, I believe. I don't think I've ever VOD reviewed. I've certainly not VOD reviewed him before, but I know, like, in tournaments, maybe I've like seen him play a little bit. But my first impression so far of Grea is that he is certainly someone who likes to play for HP, right? He could have full open this game. And look, we fight this player. We could have griefed this player's full open loss streak. But he opted instead to just play for HP, play for a very, very solid opener. But, he could have even guaranteed that he was going to make 10 the first round. He did not do that. He opted to instead say, you know what, I can hold on these pairs. And then the second he won, then he looked at making 10. The other question now is, what is Grea actually going to go for on Carousel? We have Gargoyle Components plus Glove open. In my head, I would think you would just play towards, you would take like maybe an IE, play towards a Varus game, but this will be very instructive to see what Grea actually thinks a strong opener is. In my head, these items play much towards AD. Kind of hard to play AP from here. Obviously, our opener leans a bit AP because we're item holding the Zoe right now. So if you wanted to go AP, you'd have to take the Tear or the Rod. He is going to pick up Tear here, which is interesting. A lot of scouting from Grea is showing a few things. This person certainly looks like they're playing, I mean, perhaps Soraka reroll with the Sorakas already. This person can kind of go anywhere. They kind of have AP items. This person certainly wants to play something AP, probably not Seraphine reroll, though. I think they might actually like to play Seraphine reroll, but I don't know if they can. But this could just end up being Karma. A lot of Shojins. This guy certainly seems Karma with the Preserver +1. This guy's just playing Horwick with the RFC. A lot of AP I'm already seeing here, and so Grea ends up taking the Tear. We'll see if this is him actually playing AP or if this is him just, playing, to take some kind of frontline end with AP. But I love this from Grea. I think this is a hallmark of a fantastic player. Look at the amount of scouting that he's doing. He's spending his entire stage 2 just scouting the entire lobby and, making sure that before he slams his item, he wants to make sure that he is not putting himself into a really, really contested line. Because Grea knows The world isn't his oyster right now. He can play anything from this spot. He hasn't slammed a single item yet, and he doesn't need to slam a single item in this spot. The Galio 2 is really strong. I imagine he will make this. Yeah, based on what we've seen so far from Grea, certainly seems like the kind of player that would just make this tempo Galio 2. Galio buffed a lot this patch, and Mage is buffed, so Galio is actually like kind of a strong unit now, which is crazy to say. Before, he definitely felt more like a synergy bot. But yeah, going to just make the Galio 2 here, which I think makes sense. It'll hopefully save us some HP. This is going to be almost a full mixed streak here. We don't finish it out with the win here to get the full mixed streak, but still, win, loss, loss is, obviously not the best from a streak standpoint, but Grea knew that he wasn't going to be able to full win streak this game for sure. And then the second he scouted Cranberries and saw that he was full loss streak, he knew that he was full open. He knew that he wouldn't be able to full loss streak here. The nice thing is that we have an econ augment here. What is I'm so interested by that like nameplate thing around Flandre here. But the other thing that I really like about how Grea has played this early game is that he hasn't slammed a single item. He took an augment that really incentivizes him to not slam anything here. And so, it makes perfect sense for him to slam nothing. In my opinion as well, I think it makes perfect sense to play Varus this game. We are completely uncontested in our line, in Varus it looked like, and we have insanely bis items here. We have IE, Even Shroud, and Vow. These are perfect items to play Varus. The only downside is, of course, we don't have an AD item holder right now. If we wanted to play AP from this spot, we could still perfectly play that. So I fully expect us to not slam anything here and at least look at augment first. We do have something like a Shojin Guardbreaker Gargoyle. Is there something else that, if you're playing AP, you would certainly make Guardbreaker and probably just Shojin. So we'll see what Grea opts to go for. I think certainly you just wait here and look at Augment. He's got Portal and Scholar in, so those are like potential +1s that he could hit theoretically. So that's something as well. All right, next item here, Rolling for Days, Pandora's Items, Item Collector. Out of all of these, I like Item Collector the best, I guess. I just think Solid Combat is fine. You don't really need more econ from Rolling for Days, and Pandora's Items, I just don't love it in this situation. Once again, just super diligent on these scouts. He's scouting 24/7, man. Like, it's, ooh, okay. We roll into Branching Out. Branching Out tends to not be a great augment at 3-2. I think statistically, well, let's see, we're Masters Plus here. Yeah, 4.7 at 3-2. If there were ever a spot for it, though, this could certainly be it, right? Branching Out in this spot here, we can play to anything with Branching Out. We can play, if we get like Arcana, Blaster, we can play towards Varus. If we get even like Fairy would be like the hardest ones to play for. But if we get something like Portal, Scholar, we can play towards Portal. If we get Karma type stuff, we can play towards Karma here. So I really like Branching Out here, and he does get the Portal. So I mean, he's got a Portal opener already, and now his item slams. Ooh, what was the Reforge on that there? Was that Reforge on? I'm actually, wow, okay, so Reforge's Sword here. I like it. I mean, the idea is that Shojin is not an amazing Rise item, so this will also really be instructive towards how Grea decides to play the game, because I think, we watched the Robin Song spot not too long ago where he ended up slamming Shojin, and he still played Rise from that spot and did very well. I'm pretty sure he won that game. And his idea was that, it's fine to play Shojin and to play Rise with Shojin, even though statistically the stats don't love Shojin Rise, especially if you're playing around 4 Scholar. But Robin said, you can kind of slam anything and work if it's for win streak. But Grea knows that this game, he's not playing for win streak. He needs to have a really strong board later. So he's just going to slam his strongest, best items, reforges that sword with the idea that sword is the only way to, Shojin is the only kind of AD item that you can take to get out of AD items in an AP comp like Portal. So why not just reforge that? Ends up getting rewarded with the belt, and he gets to build for the Warmogs, which I think makes perfect sense. It'll be really interesting to see what he goes for on Carousel. I think we need to start going for some Rise items, either a Guard Breaker or a Rod here, but we'll see. I know Archangels on Rise is statistically very good. He just barely doesn't get the Archangels, and so he ends up picking up Bow here, which is interesting. We'll see if it's a static ship or something else. I mean, I think at this point, Grea on the Lost Streak will probably continue to just chill on this Lost Streak here, but we'll see. Magic Mirror here, it has an okay, he hits the Laurel scenario. That is actually the worst case scenario. Any of the other options, obviously if you hit any of the 2+ costs, then you're doing fine. And then if you hit any of your other options, if you hit the Jace 2 or the Zoe 2, then you obviously get those guys to start up, which is really good for Portal. He does also slam the Static Shiv here. Okay, interesting. So that is going to kill, quote unquote, like good components in this comp, which feels, rough to some degree. But the upside is, once again, he gets to he gets to save some HP. He gets to build an item that is perfectly fine. I mean, it's a great item onto Rise. And so yeah, I think it's a quite a reasonable slam. I'm a little surprised that he slammed it when he was on such a loss streak here, but I think Grea's read is that I'm 74 HP. This augment that I took is to play for more of a top 4 type augment. You can't really win out with Tiniest Titan just because, you know, you're going to be playing down a combat augment later. So I need to preserve some amount of HP. And the static shiv on the Bard as well. Bard is a monster type unit. I mean, yeah, he won this fight certainly from that slam. So good call out from Grea here to make that slam. And yeah, he is going to use the remover here because it is free. He's going to get another one back, so always use your remover. Also, with the idea that Glove is open, maybe he could go for a static shiv Guardbreaker setup onto Rise. Makes a lot of sense. The items have pretty good synergy. All right, there's a Rise, which is fantastic for us. We do, so once again, our items are not the most straightforward. We have the Guardbreaker. I guess the idea is you make Guardbreaker, but the question is, what do you do with this double tier here? You can't really make blue buff in this comp, but you don't want to make a Hodge. You don't want to make Redemption. I'm really interested to see where these tiers go for Grea. He ends up taking random portal champion and he gets a Jace, which, all right, that's fine. We are still missing, we're just missing the Taric at this point for 8 portal. Obviously not going to level just yet here. He's really torn between the TG and the Guardbreaker. I think it has to be Guardbreaker or you're gonna be really afraid of your ability to actually make damage items for Rise later. So yeah, I think this makes perfect sense, and it does synergize well with the static shiv like we talked about. Grea going to almost full pre-level. He probably could, I mean, I'm surprised he doesn't actually pay the 1 gold to just pre-level here. And oh my god, Little Buddy's probably the best possible augment that we can get in this spot here. So I think, yep, you absolutely take that. We're going to level for the Kassadin here and roll it down. There is a Taric as well, and a Tahm Kench too that he gets to make. Okay, so now the question becomes, when do we actually stop rolling? Is it now? I think it's certainly, oh my god. Grea makes the call to continue rolling and gets super rewarded. The Rise too, the Taric too. I mean, he is coasting to level 9 this game. I mean, now he could actually look at potentially winning the game just because of how successful that roll down was. And I mean, yeah, the spot looks insane. The spot actually just looks insane here. And I mean, I really like what Grea has done with his items this game. I like how he played his early game. I mean, certainly, you know, if he, ooh, this Rise is healing so much. What is those are the new biscuits. Man, that portal did insane work there. I know they I believe they buffed the ooh, that's a nice call out as well from Grea here. Just takes the duplicator and he used it on cast there immediately, right? Yeah, just to make cast 2. I'm actually surprised that he makes cast 2. I would think about making Zoe 2 just because it's a little bit lower odds to find, but I think he just wants the actual better unit onto his board. Obviously buffing up hitting 2-star portal units ends up buffing your portal up, gives you better stuff out of it, which is really nice. And yeah, this Rise is just clearing through the entire lobby. My god. All right, last item here for the Rise, potentially I would look at, of course, Archangels. If we cannot get that, then I guess you're looking at Thief's Gloves. Oh, he wants it, but yeah, he ends up just taking the glove here. We don't really have a great TG holder now that I think about it, so I'm kind of regretting this. But he does still want to build it, and yeah, he's just thinking about where does this thing actually go. I mean, adapt to Velmcar. I guess you can just put it on Galio. It's not so bad. I mean, Galio's like relatively tanky. He's gonna put it onto the cast here, and he actually used the remover to get that tier off of Rise with the idea. I'm not actually sure what the oh wait, no, I still don't get it. I was gonna say well, yeah. I mean, that's obviously the idea that portal can farm items. Yeah, once you get to 8 portal, it can farm you items. So that's the idea. I think he tiered Rise. Man, is he a beast? I think he tiered Rise just for that one single fight with the idea that obviously I can just remover it next round. Little optimizations out of Grea. And I mean, it's fine, right? We're gonna get the Reforger back. The only thing is we'll be down a Reforger, but the only reason that would be an issue is if we want to move these items off of Rise. Which I guess we'll see. This guy's got Taric too here. They are our fellow scholar brethren, but they are certainly in the unfortunate spot where we took all the Rises out of the pool. They went to 9 and they cannot find a Rise 2 or Amelia or anything. So yeah, I think we are just going to kill this guy very soon. There's the Zoe 2, which once again is fantastic because it upgrades our portal. And we've got the Nami already, which is great. Obviously, Nami, one of the best +1s to play in this comp once you get onto Nora, who hopefully we're probably just going to 5-2 it here with this win streak, but we'll see. We're really looking for items for Rise here. That's a redemption if we want it, so we could just go for something like Redemption Archangel. Still, ugh. So this is going to be the thorn in Grea's side here, is that his items are pretty crummy this game. I mean, you have to make Redemption, and then it's either Adaptive Helm, Hodge, or Blue Buff. None of which I love. We do have this remover, so we can certainly move them later. Maybe the idea is you just go Adaptive Helm, and then you end up moving that to Nora later. I guess so. I mean, it certainly has to be Redemption, and he's looking at the Adaptive Helm, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I think this makes perfect sense. You just Adaptive Helm, and then you eventually just move that to Nora on 9. Ooh, okay, so he's just gonna throw it onto frontline. Yeah, okay, I could see this as well with the idea that whenever your portal farms you an item, it might be better than Adaptive Helm. In a lot of scenarios, it actually will be better than Adaptive Helm. It's kind of hilarious that we end up actually farming Adaptive Helm here, but really playing optimally around the portal. I forget who we VOD reviewed who did this earlier, but someone did something very, very similar to this where they would just, never actually like fully itemize their units. This is also a really cool call out from Grea to actually not make the Nami 2 on this roll down here. Maybe with these rolls? No, he's still not going to make the Nami 2 because he knows he doesn't actually care about Nami 2 until he finds the Nora. And wow, I wonder if he's never going to play the Nami on this board because he found Briar. He found Briar pair at this point. So maybe Grea's read is actually that Briar is going to be better than Nami on this board. Briar, obviously a fantastic unit, and it kind of looks like he's selling these Namis for econ. Ooh, okay. I mean, I could certainly see this call out from Grea that at this point we're level 9. We actually have very high odds of finding a Briar too, and we could actually just play around the Briar this game. Yeah, we can feed her every round, which means certainly that we will not be playing for the Namis unless we want to end up cutting the Tahm Kench, which maybe. And the other really cool thing about this call out is that it makes a really good usage of our Thief's Gloves, that Thief's Gloves that we ended up building onto Kassadin. I mean, this was probably always the idea from Grea. Good players like this. Oh my god, can the Krug do it? The Krug can do it. Oh my god. Good players always have plans for all of their items, within reason, of course. I assume we're looking for Last Rise item here. Do we have Heal Cut? If not, the red buff is great, right? Yeah, I don't think we do. So yeah, red buff looks fantastic here. Great item pickup, but he's really just playing for his max cap here. He doesn't want to just play for this default version of the board where you play Mage on the board. He's going to just keep feeding the Briar and playing for the win out. 2 Melio 2s were just found, which is kind of crazy. Also, that was... no, that wasn't Study Hard, or maybe it is called Study Hard, but it's the one that gives you not immediate XP, but it gives you XP per unit that you kill, which is kind of a crazy pickup from Grea. At 67 HP, he just says, maybe I'll go level 10. Why not? I'll take this kind of pseudo econ augment. And I mean, it looks like he's even winning this fight basically down a charm, which is a lot of XP he just farmed. Oh my god. How much XP did he just farm? I think he just farmed 8 XP that round, which is not bad at all. I mean, in the same vein, yeah, take Golden Dummy here, and the idea is going to be a level 10 cap out because his board is doing so well. He's just rolling for charm and then has the idea of pushing 10. I mean, I think this makes perfect sense in his spot here, and the items have kind of come home for the rise. We finally got to the red buff for him, which is a really silid option. He's still going to be a little low damage, but that's why we have the Briar on the board to supplement the damage. The only thing is when we fight a board like this, it's going to be pretty tough to get through this the Vex is the name of the unit on the screen. The Vex, very tough to kill there. The upside is that we are looking at going level 10, 46 gold here, 51 HP, about the same HP as gold, which is, well, it's sometimes a good sign. If you have 5 HP and 5 gold, that's a pretty bad sign. The higher the numbers are, the better they are. But yeah, Grea just, admiring his augments here, saying, I'm a high roller, which, I mean, his augment setup is fantastic here. Looking at the death cap potentially, yep, to move just Static Shiv over. And yeah, I love this. I love this in this spot here. Static Shiv, once again, fine on Rise. But this does a few things. One, it actually gets a damage item onto Rise, which is what we really needed for him. He'll actually be able to kill units. 2, it puts an item onto Nora, which means that whenever we actually get items from the 8 portal, she's going to be tailored. She's going to be more likely to actually get these. The items are always going to go into Tahm Kench and to Nora because those are the only units that actually have items on them. So it guarantees that we're going to get an item onto Nora, which is fantastic. We're looking at this level 10 here. We are just going to level up to 10. I have to imagine that the end would just be the Nami, though I think he... Now that I think about it, where's my Nami? I guess he sold it. Ooh, whoa. I mean, we got to talk about this. So Grea at this point says, okay, you know what? I don't care about the TK anymore, and I really care about getting an artifact anvil on 10 here. I care about playing for max cap this game. So he actually, I thought maybe he was gonna like lock or like sell something else, but he says, I don't care about the Tom Kench. I'm going to sell there, pick up this artifact anvil, and I'm just going to throw in this is the Zerath plus a double Briar on this board. He also gets Blighting Jewel for Nora, which is fantastic. Nora can really, really spread this thing. We do still need to pick up Mage here is the big thing, but hey, we're killing another player. And once again, I think the thing I would really say that Grea has done well this game is played for max cap. He knew how to play for tempo in the early game, and then when he realized he was in a really, really advantageous position with the high roll of the rise and stuff, he's just going to play for max cap here. Takes that augment there just for a little bit of econ and a remover here. Also allows us to get in now a Diana on the board, which is not bad. But yeah, he's played beautifully for max cap this game, and the question is, can he outcap stuff like this mage reroll board, which looks very very strong? But I mean, it's light work for the rise. Actually blow through that board. This guy Cranberries is winning, so we'll see if we can end up beating that board. That is a very capped Callista board. We'll see what we can end up actually picking up here. There is a death cap here. There's also a TG for Diana. I like it, with the idea that you're going to get items off portal. There's Briar 2. Finally we get the Briar 2 that we've been feeding this entire game. So much value from feeding her. And the question is, are we going to pick up this charm? I would imagine so. One more roll hits everything, but we can't actually build them yet. I mean, we're that healthy that why not just chill for a round? I mean, this is perfect max cap play. So many 5 costs just fit onto the board. It was so smart of him to actually play for the Briar and just keep those Briars instead of playing for Mage, because it allowed him to play for such a high cap here. Picks up the Diana 2. Now he's picking up the Nora 2, and I have to imagine this is a win. He gets a random portal. It's literally Cranberries FFs there. It's because he knows he can't win the fight. I mean, a beautiful game, really, from Grea. Obviously, certainly high roll and that 4-2 roll down and great augments. Get Mastery 23, very cool. But I really liked how he played around items. I really liked how he played around max cap. I'm definitely down to VOD review some more Grea games if you guys are interested, because I'm sure somebody's gonna be like, oh, I could have played this game. Yeah, shut up. But let me know if you guys are interested in more Grea VOD reviews, and if you're interested in learning more TFT, I'm gonna have his Twitch in the description down below, so definitely go check him out. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.